OK。始めよう。地獄の始まりだ。じゃあ始めようか。終焉へ。訪問に立つか。
Daniel, you out here? Shit.
You see Daniel out here?
No, he's not here yet.
Okay, let's keep going. Daniel will be okay. He'll catch us up.
Daniel! You okay?
Daniel, please answer me!
あ、ちょっと待って。LINE 開いてるままだ。なんだよ、LINE 開いたままじゃん。
Daniel? Where are you, buddy?
Andrew! Hey! You guys!
I'm up here!
くしゃみです。はい、ああ、ちょっと待って。ああ、あ、くしゃみ出たわ。ああ。
Boy, am I happy to see you.
Oh.
At least I'm not the only one damp and disheveled.
おっと、まだいましたね。おいおいおい、マジかよ。まだい
Have
る
you
んか。
spotted that kid, Mary?
Not seen her.
お前は太陽のシンボル。来た瞬間、休んな。指ちんだ。はっ、誰かいる。誰かいるのだ。こんなところに変なおばちゃんが。嘘。 会いに行こ
You see that?
う。メーガンだな、お前は。
Stay on your toes. Anything could happen.
No one in Little Hope is safe while you still draw breath, Joseph. You must die today. Not even your wife Amy was spared your lust to serve Satan.
Damn me if
ジョセフ、
you're not fit
ジョンのそっくり。
to kill my late wife.
There is still fight in you. I must drive the devil out for the safety of everyone here.
Oh, no, what is saying?
Joseph, do you renounce the devil and all his teachings?
I carry no sin. I'm no disciple of the devil. Our town is infected with madness. Roy, about saints, servants.
We have to stop this. Come on, help me! Look, there can be no more doubting. This is witchcraft. More stones. The devil must be crushed from within him. Do not flinch. The fate of Little Hope rests in your hands.
Oh, やばい。骨が折れる。いや、やっぱり火事の時のシーンとほぼ同じだね。圧迫死でしょ？上から積まれてたじゃん。火事の時、屋根からドンドンドンってきたじゃん。やっぱそれで潰れてるんじゃん。やっぱりシーンほぼ同じだね。死に方は違えど。
We're screwed. There is no way out from this nightmare.
We don't have a lot of time.
Time for what?
John!
What are you doing?
I can't get away from this thing. You saw what happened to Taylor. I'm not going the same way.
Are you crazy? We gotta move!
お、ここで来たか。
John, please hurry!
いるぜ。ぶち殺してやるぜ。オッケー。さあ、アンジェラ行くぜ。アンジェラ行くぜ。オッケー。ジョン。オッケー。
How's that feel, fucker?
V 破壊。 おらとどめじゃ。振り破壊鎖。
It won't open.
Get inside!
あいつやいの。オッケー。
Get in here!
ジョンとテイラーのターンが早い。ジョンとアンジェラじゃない。
We gotta go! Like now! He's only interested in me! Get out of here! Go! I'll hold it back!
You can get away! Escape! I did! You don't have to do this!
This is stupid! Get out of there!
Is it gone? I don't see it anymore.
テイラーのことが頭がいっぱいだね。
Where in God's name are we now?
Place looks like it burned down.
ここが
Something here isn't
も
right.
しかし
What's
て
new? Nothing here feels right.
なんか焼けてるということは、ここはあれじゃねえか。とうとう来たのか、あの火事の現場に。そう。え、なにこれ。え、なにこれ。誰ですかあなた。誰ですかあなた。飛んでくる？来ないのね。ついに来たか。おい、待て。最終章だね、ついに。そっからどうやっていくの？最終章だよ、ジェームズ・アン。
You're gonna want to see this.
Angela and I were married.
This makes less and less sense.
さあ、クライマックスが近づいております。ここは明らかにあの火事の現場。ついにここまで来ました。この火事の現場が多分最終章でしょう。最終章。すべてはここが始まったんだ。なんか怖いって。そういう覗き方やめてほしいな。誰もいない。なんか、何か、操作できない。操作できない。あ、どうもこんにちは。時間が終わりないみたいだね、どうやら。レオナルド・カーソン。 メーガンについて手紙をありがとう。あなたの懸念はよくわかる。だが、娘さんの反抗的な態度は珍しいものではない。私はこれまで同様の問題を抱える親たちを助けてきた。メーガンの道徳的指導も喜んで手助けしたい。ヘブライ12章11節には、すべての戒めはその時喜ばしいものではなく、辛く思われるが、正義という平和の果実を後々実らせるとある。日曜日の礼拝後、面会に来なさい。個人指導の時間を設けよう。さあ、登ろう。
You hear that?
I did. Can only be the girl. Let's go find her.
ここが全ての始まり。メーガンよ。メーガンが俺を
She's in here. Stay here.
Hey, Bigfoot, find the goddamn vinyl, will ya?
Andrew? What are you doing? He knows I was about to confess all to the judge.
No,
Will
wait.
you protect me? You must.
Wait, this isn't right. No way.
I assure all gathered here today that our town will be free of the devil's grasp. Together, by God's grace, little hope will prevail. My word on it.
This court is hastily convened, but with good reason. If we are to finally rid ourselves of the evil which has infested Little Hope, then we must act today. I accuse you, Mary, of witchcraft. What say you, Reverend?
The evidence, as discovered through my investigation, is beyond question. Mary uses her puppet as a familiar to summon and serve the devil.
We have been deceived by a child, by her guise of innocence. This puppet was mistakenly used to denounce Tabitha, but it has always belonged to Mary and Mary alone. She allowed her own kin to be executed as she watched in silence.
That is not so. Liar!
Now this tainted child, this creature of Satan, has the marrow to accuse me, a man of God, of wrongdoing.
Whatever she pulls, do not fall for her little girl act. She may be a child, but there's no doubt she means harm. She's malicious.
It was never my intention to bring harm to this town or its people. Can you not help me?
What can I do? If I could do something to stop this, I would, but...
Now in her hour of greatest need,
I don't
this
see
child
how.
of the damned pleads once more for the
Wait.
devil's help.
I beg the court's indulgence. Please guide me at this time.
今この時に僕を導いてくれ。
We have to stop this. The only madness is right here in this court. Carver, he's the evil one.
We have been swayed by malice.
カバーを潰そう。
Hidden from us, but not by Mary. Reverend Carver is the one urging us to believe in the devil.
Be silent.
This is all
You'll
his
not
doing.
deceive us any longer. Your true purpose is plain to see. I will see this town purged of all evil.
He's right. Listen to what he's saying. Carver is to blame.
What must I do to bring Little Hope back into the light? I fear the Reverend and what he is capable of. You have to stop Carver. It's him, don't you get it? He's condemning Mary to take the heat off himself. I know what must be done here.
頼むぞ。エブラハ。
Be still. What is the meaning of this outrage?
What I have just learned sickens me to my core. There are serious questions which must be asked of you.
これは
How can a man of God conduct himself in
悪魔の
such
召
a way?
喚式じゃない。
Mary, your suffering is at an end. You are free to leave.
Fool! Misled by a child!
終わりだ
Do
か
you
ま
not
ぶ
see
し。
what she is? The truth stares at you from the depths of hell, yet you see nothing! The devil's daughter has deceived you all! Not me! I see her! I see her! Satan's whore! You will pay heavily for your crimes. I was one of the first to fall under your spell. Now all of Little Hope is mesmerized by you.
I have not the words. Without you, I would be dead. You saved me. I shall remember you all my days.
強く生きろ。未来。
But I didn't save you.
でも僕は守ってない。
I can't believe it's finally over. You protected the girl, and you were right about the priest. He was the genuinely evil one. Let's get out of here.
Tell me what happened. You see the girl, Mary?
I think finally, this whole nightmare is over.
朝が来た。来た。
Hey!
ビンセント。
I'm real sorry. I know it wasn't your fault. Both of us been through some real tough time these past years.
なるほど、そういうことだったのか、やっぱ。
About half a mile or so, there's a diner with a working phone. You call for help and you leave this place. And don't you ever come back. Ain't nothing left here for you.
でもおかしい一つ。一つだけおかしいぞ。一つだけおかしいことがある。待って、もしかしたら俺の想像通り。今俺が考えてること、すべて言うわ。今ここですべて話そう。今、ヴィンセントがお前を許すみたいな感じ言ったじゃん。でももうここには戻ってくるなって言ってたじゃん。で、前のシーンで、葬式のシーンであったじゃん。ヴィンセントが、このアンドリューじゃなくて、もう一人の生き残った18歳の子いたじゃん。火事の時ね。火事の時、生き残った子を睨みつけてたじゃん。あのことを許してやる。みたいな、許してあげるよ、みたいな感じだったじゃん、ビンセント。もしかしたら、その火事の時のことを、今ここにいるアンドリュー同一人物の可能性あるよね。ただ、一つ問題なのは、年が合わない。っていうやつ。でも今の感じでいくと、明らかに、もういいや、ちょっと待ってね。俺が考えてるのは、まあ、言葉じゃ説明しづらいから、コメントで話すけど、 何が言いたいかというと、ビンセントと火事のあった、火事のあったことと知り合いっていうのは元からあったじゃん。っていうのは元からあったじゃん。コメント見れてるかな？見れてるね。ヴィンセントと火事のあったことは知り合いじゃん。だって、この前、昨日 YouTube で前の動画見せたときに手振ってたじゃん。だからヴィンセントとその火事のあった子は知り合いっていうのはあるじゃん。そこは完璧にあるじゃん。で、さっきの2人の、まあ、許してやるみたいな。ヴィンセントを許してやる。2人の、みたいな感じで、なんとか言ってたじゃん。で、その後に、もう、ここには、戻ってくるな。君には、用はな、みたいな。用はない。って言ったじゃん。つまり、逆の、今現在の、ここには君の場所はないみたいな。君には用はない。もうここに戻ってくるなっていうのは、ただの忠告っていうのもあるじゃん。ただの忠告もあるけど、見方を変えれば、見方を変えれば、火事のあったことを、こうなるよ。こうなるんで、俺の考え方でいくと。明らかに、今のヴィンセントの話し方が、今のこのアンドリューと知り合いの感じの話し方だったじゃん。めちゃくちゃなんか仲良さそうに話してたじゃん。でも、もしこの考え方でいくと、本人の可能性はあるけど、ただ、年が合わない。若すぎる。っていうのがある。で、俺が一つ考えるのは、つまり妄想。ということで。さあ、この動画があることを祈るよ。この先が。
I'm real sorry for what I've put you all through.
僕のせいであんなことになってごめんねって、なかなか言わないよね。
We've all had one hell of a rough night.
僕のせいであんなことになってって言わないよ、なかなか。
That's gonna haunt me forever.
You're not alone here.
Take it easy on
We've all
yourself.
been through
You know
hell.
that, right?
We're finally getting out of
You
this
can't
hell.
blame yourself for it.
ほら。
I just wish we all could have made it.
なるほど。ここでバスの運転手が出てくるんだ。なるほど。そういうことだったのか。
We're diverting all traffic through Little Hope. You okay, buddy? You seem a little confused.
Yeah, I'm fine. I just want to get these folks to where they need to be.
誰もいない。
I doubt a short delay will trouble him too much.
誰もいない。
Can everyone just shut up? This isn't helping us find help or getting us out of here. Hi there. How you doing? Excuse me, but we're looking for our bus driver.
What?
Have you seen him?
Yeah, that's funny. Sounds like you could use a drink.
Better not, thanks. I need to keep a clear head.
ここ橋が割れてたところだ。
What the hell is going on in there?
Get the hell out of here!
I'll go once I look you in the eye. Now let me in! Hey!
I don't think he gets how bad a mess we're in.
Oh, なるほど。理解できた、やっぱ。俺の考え通り。Yeah, curator.
That's it. Game over. You're done. For now, at least. You could always try again, see if you can get a different result. Impressive. Almost survived intact.
すまんな、テイラー。
Almost.
テイラー、ごめん。
And you eventually found him. The bus driver.
そうだな。
Maybe he can now put the past behind him.
なんで死に方全部、ほぼ全員同じだったのかも分かった。そういうことだったのに。さあ、キュレーター。
Until we meet again. Maybe in the Arabian desert. Maybe somewhere else.
アラビア砂漠。
But we will meet again.
待て。
At least one more time.
待て。待て。まさかこの流れ的に行くとこれで、リトルホープ終了です。いやー、これでスッキリしたね。なぜみんなの死に行くシーンがほぼ同じだったのか。いやー、よくわかったわ、ほんと。いやいや、わかんないよ。わかんないよ。ただの振りかもしれないし。振り、絶対振り。ありえない。いや、今回はね、そうだね。怖かった。本当に怖かった。いやー、やっぱりバスの運転手がアンソニーで、アンソニーイコールアンドリューだったね。で、どうしてそんな妄想をするようになったかというと、おそらく、おそらく、その一家全員を助けれずに自分だけ生き残っちゃったからかな。ない。 まあそういうことなんでしょうね。多分自分のミスで全員死んじゃったから、みんなを助けようという妄想で、妄想が始まったんだろうね。なかなか深い話だったな。聞こえてる俺の声。多分自分の自分だけ生き残ってあとみんな死んじゃったから、その反省なんだろうね。責任感じてたんだろう。責任感じちゃって、そういう妄想しちゃったね。安くなったんだろうね。やっぱり1時間以内に終わったな。まあね。でもまあ面白かったからいいや。確かに。いやでもまあ面白かったからいいや。なかなかありがとうよ。でも俺の推理ほとんど当たってたから、まあ別によしとしよう。まさかバスの運転手がアンソニーで、そのアンソニーがまさかのアンドリューだったっていうのはね、なかなかねびっくりしたけど。まあね。最後になったようやく一つにつながる。なんでシーンが同じだったのか。なぜあの化け物たちがこうやって張りつくばってたのか。それはすべて妄想だったからだよ。アンソニー君の。そうだね。なぜバスの運転手がいなかったのか。それは自分で一人でずっとやってたからだよ。ぶっちゃけ最後の方結構あれだったんだよね。その最後のエリア、実家に来た時になんかエコーでなんか俺のレコード踏むなよみたいな感じで書いてあったから、これもしかしてこの家に来た瞬間のやつみたいな。このなんかあれじゃん。物に触ってなんかそういうなんか人の気持ち、言葉が聞こえるっていうのがあそこぐらいしかなかったから。展開読めたよ、大体。最後の方はね、絶対に。さあ、終わったってね。よし、じゃあ、やるか。やめるか、そろそろ。
You believe in God?
Absolutely not. We'll start with... We are under attack by... I don't know what. You wouldn't believe me even if I tried. Hell, I don't believe it and I was there.
Sumerian myth. They say the souls of the dead went deep underground to the House of Ashes, where they lived on dust, plagued by the demons of the underworld.
House of Ashes。死の家。死の館か。死の館か。次。題名。砂漠か。次回。ホース。いや、マジか。やるのか。やるのか。コレクション。終わったからね、とりあえずちょっとね、見ようか。大体全然拾ってないんだよね。パッパパッパ言ったから。ブルー人形、ロープ、扉の前の悪魔、慈悲、静寂。ほとんど拾ってないね。9枚ぐらいしか拾ってないね。秘密。はあ。魔女の道。ポペット。これポペットだね。これはこれは多分、あれよ。牧師が持ってたやつなんじゃないかな。何もかもしなった。これは多分魔女裁判の人が書いたやつなんだろうな。これはあれだな。これだね。牧師はオカルト的なことを関与。禁止ってなんだろうね。よくわかんなかったな、この辺。これは明らかにターニャだったね、多分。ここターニャだった。はい。カバーケ。カバーの名前は、あれは知らねえな。いやー、ようやく終わったな、全部。うん。カーソン。カーソン牧師はメーガンのしつけを手伝っていた。変なことしてそう。うん、アンソニー・クラーク。この子がバスの運転手だった。マデリンカバー。誰それって感じだけど。多分それかもしれないね。なるほどね。深いわ。このゲームはやっぱ。ボーナスコンテンツ。いやー、怖かったな、やっぱ。アートブック。アートブック見たようにかする。やっぱり。どの辺まで読んだ、俺。これか。でもね、あれこの部屋行ったっけ行ったっけ行ったか行ったっけこの部屋。覚えてね この部屋行ったっけな。覚えてないね。ああ、老朽化してないから、ちょっと希望が見えるよみたいな。やるね。確かにね、老朽化してなかったら、ちょっと希望が見えるよね。微妙に。微妙によく見えるよね。でも内部はボロボロだったから、絶望に変わっちゃったってことね。なるほど。うまくできてんな、このゲーム。今の街と過去の街を、色彩を変えることによって、なんか、世代を維持。街全体がね、ボロボロだったら、絶望を感じるよねってやつね。なるほどね。処刑はどれも1970年代の出来事に直接リンク。確かにね。首吊り、火炙り、水攻め、圧迫。確かになんか全部魔女サイファーにあったね。殺し答えだけではなく、構図、描写もリンク。確かにね。ああいう縛り方してたしね。教会は巣になる避難場所ではないってやつね。失礼ございました。なるほど。僕選びあるんじゃない？結局僕あれだったしね。ジェームズと会うんで会話します。その会話の重要な鍵となるロケーションが繊維工場。その工場はジェームズが予想した通り、今では稼働していない。その話してたっけ？クライマックス付近で例のコロニアル様式の家にたどり着きますが、焼け落ちてる。それでもあの家だとわかります。このシーンは強烈です。物語のループが閉じ、終わりが近いことを伺います。確かに終わりだと思ったからね。わかるわ。圧殺する。残忍な処刑はフランス語で、読めないんですけど、プレネフォンネグレー。ピアネフォンネグレー。ピアネフォンネグレー。絶対ちげえだろ、この役。フリーニング文献グレー。絶対違う。絶対違うから。ありえない。そんな読み方しないでしょ。ピエネフォテエティグレー。絶対ありえないでしょね。絶対ありえないでしょ。フランス語。ちょっと待ってね。今調べてね。見るわ。翻訳。絶対ありえないって、こんなピエネなんとかなんとかってさ。ピエネ。気になったら調べちゃうよね、とりあえず。おっとっとっと。なんて言ったお前。 何ピエネホスティチュピエネホスティチュ何なんて言ってんの？最終的には、あっち系の言葉しか聞こえる。ピエネピチュ。これは聞かせた方が早そうだ。いくよ。これが過酷な苦痛らしい。これが、過酷な苦痛、フランス語で言うらしいね。と呼ばれる実際に行われた刑罰を基づいています。この刑は罪状認否を拒否した犯罪合理者に使用。物語の始めは炎上していたゲリでは、ゲームの最後に再び訪れる。プレイヤーは同じ場所を調べることができるので、非常に違和感を覚えるでしょう。確かに。微妙にマチュピチュ。違う、マチュピチュじゃない。家族が住むこの家は、リトルホープの物語に締めくくる。家族の家から抜け殻になるんです。深いね。アンドリューじゃない、アンジェラ。つけてるものはね。アンドリュー。テイラー。ごめんね、テイラー。殺しちゃって。許して。ダニエル。いいものつけてるな。ジョン。さらにいいものつけてる、この子。メガン。なるほどね。ありがとう。次。悪魔のデザイン。ブービーだ。
I just saw someone in the woods. Okay, very good. We're freaked. Who's there?
Whoever you are, this isn't funny at all.
The demons are an integral part of the story of Little Hope. It's the crux of a lot of the things that happen, and that informs a large part of what we're doing. The starting point for each of the demons was the style of execution. They're based on a character that gets killed. That then informs how the character behaves, how it moves, how it sounds, and those are all brought together to give us that convincing, terrifying demon.
In order to make convincing demons, you need to ground them in nature. So what we do is we use our understanding of anatomy and our deep understanding of biomechanics and the principles of the way things move and the way things actuate, and we apply this to the demon design. We obviously start with the production design. The production design is a drowned demon. What we need to do then is look for extra reference. We have to look at stuff like autopsies. We'd look at what happens to the skin when it gets exposed to water for a long time. We have to look at creatures from underwater. We look at various types of fish. Loads of images and real-world reference helps, although it's slightly gruesome.
This particular demon we're looking at is the one that's been hung. We didn't want to show the whole of this character, and right from the beginning we said, let's focus on the areas which are the most terrifying. And so the overall silhouette of the character was to be like this twisted rope. Her limbs had coiled, and so we were exaggerating the metaphor of this hanging. 1,000 years of being trailed along the ground, it had worn away her feet, the bones being worn down, the nails being broken off. She'd been in pain for a long time. The most key of all of the elements was the face and how we framed that, and that was that broken, twisted neck, one eye remaining, a tear coming out because it's that last remains of her soul. The noose was digging into her neck, and her tongue was actually so bloated and grown that actually became a feature for us in the game, that tongue actually becomes a grapple to get hold of some of the characters.
To animate a demon, we would start with looking at how they walk or move forward. Some of them are dragging themselves, and then also how they would attack their victims, just flesh out the layout and the choreography of it. Mocap is a big help. Obviously, it's a lot faster than keyframing from scratch. So we decided to use it as a base for some of them, and then we would layer on top of that all the characteristics that bring them to life, even though they're dead.
The Crush Demon in particular was difficult to work with because we weren't able to use motion capture footage, so that is going to be completely hand animated. So that meant we were really starting from scratch. All the other demons, we did use actors' footage, so we have a lot of actors with spikes tied to them, limping across the scene.
Let's get the fuck out of here!
On the Broke Demon, we asked the actor to use various props to try and achieve the sort of movement that we wanted. And I think he did a great job. It was really successful. We've had to, again, add on to that to help with the weight and the believability.
We take our initial cues for the sound of the demons from the visuals, and they look fantastic. But then we have to take the sound of the demons beyond the visuals to give them a really strong otherworldly presence. We need each of the demons to be individually recognisable whilst maintaining that uncomfortable unfamiliarity for the player. So at distance you might hear the chains clanking or the vocal screams. But when you get close up to the demons, you hear lots of detail, the cracking of skin, the creak of the chains, the breaths or the sound of the icky vomit. We really want the player to feel the breath through the sound of the demon on their face.
Angela, no!
When we're thinking about the camera work for the demons, one thing that was really at the forefront of my mind was try not to show too much, try not to lose all restraint, and I think that's a really easy trap to fall into with CG in general, and especially with games that you've got all these monsters that you've built and you've spent a lot of time working on, and it's really easy just to go straight to putting everything on screen. But thinking back to some classic horrors, classic monster movies, a lot of times there the directors had to use a lot of restraint and just show little bits and pieces because they didn't have that kind of budget or that kind of effect to really make it convincing. And there's something about that I really like that I wanted to bring back to Little Hope. So when I was directing the camera team, I've asked them to show little bits, little glimpses, a clawed hand here, a shadow on the wall there, the chains rattling, whatever the key characteristics were of that demon. The interesting thing with that is that I think sometimes your imagination as a viewer fills in the blanks in a far more terrifying way than we really could. So we tried to build up that suspense, working up to this big reveal where you finally see full on in the light this thing that's been hunting you down in all its gross, horrific glory. With the demon scenes, lighting definitely had a key part to play as well. It had to work complementary to what we wanted to do with the cameras, but also there's some very specific things you can do with lighting that really lent itself to this task. So one of the big ones was the use of silhouettes. The demons have really interesting form and really interesting shapes. They're very unusual, you know, these humanoid creatures all distorted, and we wanted to use that without revealing too much. So quite often we tried to use backlighting, or the fog that's present all through Little Hope is a really useful tool for silhouettes, as you can have this nice separation with a brighter background and then have the creature dark in the foreground. It was a nice way to make them feel even more gross than they really were.
The Little Hope narrative is extremely multi-layered, and the demons not only represent the tortured souls of the characters, but they also represent the psychological trauma that humans can obtain through witnessing traumatic events. So when the game opens in the prologue and the main character is witnessing these traumatic events, we underscore this with really strong male Gregorian choir, which we use later in the game when the demons are attacking to really strengthen and reference that psychological trauma with the tormented souls of the characters.
Run! Now!
The broken demon's the most terrifying because of the way it moves. It's really unsettling because you can't anticipate where it's going to go next. All the limbs are breaking and it's all moving in a really erratic way. So if you were to try and escape from it, you wouldn't know where to go because it might go there or it might go over here. So that's the most terrifying in terms of unpredictability, I suppose, and having a deep effect on your psyche.
Interestingly, when you work at Supermassive, you get immune to horror. That's one thing I've definitely noticed. The powers of horror somehow get lost in me every time I'm watching a horror movie. I don't get so scared anymore just because I see this stuff every day. But doing those demon scenes, I must admit, even watching them back as they were work in progress, it was always like fairly distressing and fairly horrific. So hopefully some of that comes across in the experience for the player too.
マジかよ。まあ確かにいっぱいホラー見てたら怖くなくなるわな。俺は怖いけど。なれない。ちょっとこれ開けちゃってみたいによ。お時間が落ちた。
Where are we? What happened?
The bus crashed. We're okay, though. Just shaken up.
I don't remember being in any crash.
Well, here we are on set of Little Hope, part of the Dark Pictures anthology. Tell me about the characters you play in the game.
Yeah, very exciting. I play Andrew, who is a student on this trip to the town of Little Hope.
You know this place?
No. I mean, I don't think so.
I also play Anthony and I play Abraham, all existing at different time periods in different places.
Is it tough to balance at all and to kind of jump back between these characters as you go through it?
A little bit. I've had a lot of help along the way, and we've been able to, for the most part, separate the three different guys. We have an amazing accent coach on set at all times, so she keeps me in check and puts me on the right part of the map when I stray too far.
Only the devil could create a demon who so resembles me. We do look alike, which I agree is pretty damn weird.
How tough is it for you to separate that and balance it all?
Yeah, it's interesting. Andrew, being the character that I embody for most of the time, was a little bit easier for me. I related to him naturally. He's this socially awkward, repressed student, and I certainly as a student was pretty socially awkward and repressed, so I could relate to him a great deal.
You seem uncomfortable around kids your own age.
This trip is actually my first time away from home.
Oh, you picked a real beauty.
Yeah, well, if I ever make it back, I'll sure have something to talk about.
The other character, Anthony, is slightly more immature, comes from a big family. I can also relate to that. And dealing with the family dynamic and playing that sibling friction was also something that I think a lot of people can relate to, and that was fun. Another sort of element of the challenge which I really enjoyed. And then there's Abraham, who's the third character that I'm responsible for.
We have to stop this. The only madness is right here in this court.
And the nice thing that exists in all three of them is this motivation to do good, to do right. And I think all three characters I really had admiration for. They seem to be like morally adept, and it's important to respect, I think, the characters that you play, or at least identify something within them that you respect, and I respected all three of the guys that I played.
I know what must be done here.
And they're all so very different, and even the level of the accents change between them. Is that something that's challenging to navigate?
Yeah, that's been really fun. For me, it's been when playing Andrew, I've been doing a relatively neutral American accent, but we've sort of based most of the action in New England, so it does lean towards the East Coast, and it doesn't take on too strong of a characterization in either direction. The vocal work for Anthony is similar to that, but because Anthony lives within the 1970s, there's been a little bit of tweaking to the accent in order to accommodate the times. And then Abraham's an entirely different accent. It's been a bit of guesswork as far as constructing that accent because there's no recordings of what people sounded like at that time. But I suppose the closest thing to it we imagine is a kind of Northern English accent. And my dad's from Yorkshire, so I've basically been ripping off what my dad sounded like when he was younger.
She talked in this really weird accent. Was that even American?
And also with the process itself is a huge, like a learning curve, like you say, with the performance capture. What's the process been like for you? Have you been able to adapt? Do you feel at home now wearing the helmet? And
yeah, it's funny. I mean, it presents a whole host of challenges. It can get a little uncomfortable.
Okay.
After a while, it can get a little uncomfortable. You never forget the first time you go for a wee wearing that headset, thinking, "Am I on some sort of screen somewhere in a studio right now? Can people see me weeing?" But you soon get used to the headset and the pack that you're wearing. And I think the best thing you can do is try and remove that from the equation entirely and just make it about looking at the person opposite you. Some of the more physical stuff is challenging because if you do want to move around and you do want to add a physical performance to whatever facial, emotional things that are being captured, you have to be careful that the sound isn't being compromised because of your movements. But, you know, in lots of ways it's been quite freeing too. We move at a great pace. There's little repetition over the same thing. There's lots of variation, but little repetition really. And we have an opportunity to move freely about the space pretty much. We're not confined to marks and we don't have to relight every single moment. It's go, go, go. It's been 100 miles per hour and I've loved the intensity of it. It's been great.
But we're looking for our bus driver.
What?
Have you seen him?
Yeah, that's funny.
What's up with the fog outside? It's pretty weird.
Sure is a thick one tonight.
Actually, it's so thick it's stopping us from leaving.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
You're, trapped here too, then?
And cut.
It's a whole different pace, I feel, than what you normally when you're setting up a scene and you
メール落ちてるかここまでだ。時間が時間だからね。それにて修行お疲れ様でした。落ちてるか？落ちてるか？